Hey everybody, this is Cyrock-Omega, and welcome back to some map making for a D&D campaign that I'm hoping to get started sometime next month, probably. Possibly sooner? Like at soonest, not this upcoming weekend, but the next one. Which, oh well, is next month. We don't actually have much of this month left. So I'm gonna be working on some, what I have been working on mostly has been the world map. I'm gonna be working on some more localized things for this campaign. So that's gonna be, expounding upon the campaign is gonna be starting, which is, this is a large map. So it's, difficult for it to load. It lags real bad. It's just loading right now. Trying to. Alright, let's get some music going. Get my chill playlist. Chill tunes. Just lags everything. It's a large file. Shuffle all. Alright. Yeah, this island right here. Where the party gonna be starting. A very central location. So we're gonna really I just had another idea coming into this, that I may actually make these, like, this is a very Scandinavia sort of area, and this is very British Isles. I was considering, like, just not even dealing with, like, a big gap over here. Just bring maybe more divided, maybe just a bit of a divide here, and then a lot of smaller islands that go around here. Kind of emphasize the sort of naval aspect of Vikingness of Scandinavia in a medieval setting. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I'm really going to be focusing on a new map here. The island's only going to be about, let's see. It's going to be about like 30 miles north to south. Maybe about 10 east-west. I'm gonna move some stuff over so I don't have more elbow room. Let's see now. Let's really quick grab this color. Oh, hold on, that was the wrong layer, wasn't it? There we go. I'll just paintbrush and I mean, this is probably, I may wanna, do I wanna make this larger file here? Larger thing? I don't know. Maybe not really. Oh yeah, this is like a lot. I'm gonna close the other one. I'm thinking whole. Actually, maybe just make it an even. An even. How about make it 9 by. Let's make it a 10 by 5. Oh no, I had it backwards. That's width. That's height. Make it a 10 by 6. Quite long. Let's actually make it a bit wider. Maybe don't even need it that high. Let's make it a 9 by 7. Okay, look at this. Something kinda. Hopefully, it doesn't look too much like a turd. A tinge wider over here. I'm not a professional at this. I am not an artman. Maybe not quite that wide. Actually, let's just delete the whole thing. Undo all. Undo everything. Go with this. Start fresh. This is the background. This is a new layer. Kinda want to keep the background white. Not that it really matters. I think maybe let's go for kind of more of a crescent shape. Crescent-ish, maybe like a half circle. Not quite that wide. This isn't too bad of a start. Man, it was 50 degrees out today. In December. It is winter and it's right now 54 degrees is what my phone is telling me. 54 degrees. We'd be lucky if it gets that warm in March. I live in Chicago, by the way, in case you're thinking, oh, let's see, where are you? How, it's really nice where I'm at right now. It's so cold. It's 50 something. I live in California. No. Chicago is a frigid mistress. On the average winter. Before you had nasty climate change. It does stuff like this. I like it. I like the weather. But it's also destroying... Like, what was it that had that big old tsunami? Like, Indonesia, I believe? There's a massive tsunami that killed like 500 people. Stuff like that. Instigated by climate change. But anyway, that's a downer. Let's talk about maps. Dungeons and Dragons, fun things. But things where you have power. Where you can do magic and stuff. That's one of the nice things about the fantasy, about tabletop games, and those can be totally separate too. Like it doesn't have to be fantasy tabletop games. It's a power trip. That you can actually do things in the world. You have power, you have agency. What the hell am I gonna do to end climate change? I don't have magic. I mean, I can sign a petition. Petitions are nice. That is, like, when 90 people, essentially, if they were to stop doing all the things that they're doing right now, could end, like, drastic climate change. Because they own, like, massive, like, oil companies and stuff like that. Kind of ridiculous. But whatever. Why I cater in fantasy. I push this nonsense. Enjoy myself. Have fun with friends. Yeah. How long's my chill tunes list? My pumped up jams, it's about the same. Like chill tunes is 6 hours 18 minutes. Pumped up jams is, well, there's an hour difference. Pumped up jams are 5 hours 22 minutes. That was a nice song. I never played Final Fantasy VI. I've only played 7. Played 7, 1, and 2. Japanese 1 and 2. I've got the DS. No, not DS. The GBA versions. Crystal whatever those are, you know. I haven't actually played much of them, but I own them. Those would be good games to stream one of these days. There are a lot of games that I like to stream, but I just haven't really been in much of a mood for streams or games, like video games, that much lately. I've just been thinking about D&D, tons. Like a gourd shape. Isn't too bad. Don't want to look like a poop. Look, I live on this island. It's a big old poop. There we go. That's not too bad. Not too bad. I could deal with this. I could live with this being the map. I don't think we ever owned Final Fantasy VI. No, 3 in America when it was out on the SNES. They had Chrono Trigger, but never the other ones. A little too blob. A little too rounded. Fix that over here. Or was the crescent aspect of it? Still maybe a bit more narrow in the middle. That's a chill tune in more of the literal sense. Yeah, I'm gonna Google island. Get a just some overhead looks here. Hmm. I'm gonna try like a different layer. Like a northern point here. I don't want to start like a more central. Alright. I think we'll work with this. See. Fill it in. Gonna trace this right. Let's also now I like to this a bit wider down here. Arrow this over here. Cut off that chunk. You're not that quite that sure. Oh, hold on. This isn't bad. Some of these corners off. Actually thinking. No, not that. Oh, not that. Eh. Looks like a jalapeno. Hmm. Look at chili pepper. Maybe add another bay. Another little lump here. About a little something else up here too. I'm gonna add, make it a bit more that. I really don't need to be making anything that's incredibly... like, oh, hey there, Macabre Derek, how's it going, man? It's going alright, just working on an island that my campaign's gonna be starting on, my D&D campaign, in case you didn't see the title by any chance. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be really good looking. That's mostly practical, but I want to make my... when I have maps and I show them to my players, I want them to look realistic. Like this is a living world that actually was formed at some point. Maybe another sort of peninsula. Rounds off here. Also kind of gets into there. And so yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you're having a good evening. So I am basing the world a great deal on the real world. Like, this is kind of like a British sort of area that this is going to be taking place in. But I'm not, like, copying a map of a location and sort of changing it up. Not at this point. I know that I want to make an island. Maybe only about, like, 30 miles from one extreme to the other. So not a terribly large one, but yeah. Like how Britain was made, or how like the islands. Like this is very much a kind of Isle of Man sort of island. As if like, do you mean like geographically? Like, I mean, I am following the history of like the formation of like the political entities of Britain in a sort of similar way, but the party, needless to say, is going to be able to change things around with whatever they choose to do. It's going to be a sort of a the Great Heathen Invasion, the Great Heathen Army invasion sort of period. Though that's not the main focus of this campaign. Viking invaders are going to be part of it. have that rounded. Oh yeah, I know. Like, that stuff I sorta... Most cities are going to be on rivers. Like, this whole area is going to be based a lot about groups invading, and they're going to sorta... Not... Like, at this point, that's going to be kind of one of the major themes, that this is going to be a very diverse area. Essentially, just like, there are some chunks that are from one invasion or another, from one ancient people to another, some bigger than others. I'm not gonna be like hyper realistic with how everything goes. I'm kind of more following the themes of it, the themes that can be drawn from it. That every area, every city is going to be able to sustain itself some way. It may not be on a river, it may have some kind of magical way of doing it. Yeah. A town is going to exist for the sake of existing. When there needs to be a logical reason for a town to exist. I kind of actually want to cut in here, maybe. Nah, not it. Kind of looks like a tiny legged alpaca. Almost. Let's actually make a cut in here. Sort of a sharper one. That would even looks even more like a leg. Yep, they're gonna be coming from the east. I considered a little bit a while ago whether I want to kind of change around how everything faces. But I kind of decided against that. Didn't want to shift that much. We're gonna do it that way. I don't know, just a degree of randomness. Maybe smooth it out a little. Not too bad. I don't know if I like how thick it is. Like, I should take another chunk out of it. I think I'm liking this. Kind of looks like a walrus. Hmm. But I feel like this is a relatively natural sort of shape. Like it doesn't. One of the things that really bugs me about, well, not even really bugs me, but sort of bugs me, is if you ever look at the map of Westeros from Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, is how much it looks like it's like a big long island, you know? It's like a long big island, you know, man. So everything's gonna be taking place. This is a big continent, man. It's all like north south stuff, man. I'm also eating a little. Foods. Hungry. I've always got to be eating. Don't want anything to be too sharp or too smooth. Gotta be a mix of both. Hmm. Digging this. I'm liking this a lot. Liking this one a lot. Hmm. Hmm. I think this is a pretty solid just island. This is the land. Land. I don't really think I need to change this up too much. I like this. I'm gonna bring up some documents just about the areas that I have already designed about this island. This is kind of important. It's not a very heavily populated area, in fact, very minimally populated. But this is also where the campaign is going to begin. Hands file. So, I haven't come up with the name for the island yet, but I have come up with the name of the community, sort of a larger community. That is, Gaelig. Making a lot of the names very Celtic. Population is only about 180, so quite small. I think it would be good to have it like in this sort of bay. So like 180. How many of those are families? Probably like at least like, okay, how many households would there be? Population of 180. Likelihood majority of them are half of them are children? Majority children? Should make it a bit larger. What's up, Constantius? How you been, man? I've been streaming for about... How long have I been up? About an hour. Like, pretty much right at an hour. How you been going, man? How you been going? Finishing up some food at the moment, then I'm gonna look up something in the DMG. Working on Amazon. Dang. Cool. So I just paint it. I can't just make like use the pencil, sort of make a vague shape. Something looks a bit better than that, obviously. Fill it in, sometimes take chunks out of it. Maybe add chunks. Stuff like that. Yeah, I just kind of make it sort of random. It's like when I'm adding a bit, I just don't really purposefully make it like, oh, I want to go in I sort of a vague direction of where I want it to go. So I kind of, but I don't really think exactly what I'm doing. Like I let my hand kind of move around a little as it's going in that direction. But yeah, I've got the shape of the island down pretty well. I'm gonna grab a book real quick. I'm not gonna be making more, well, this is kind of just one island I'm focusing on right now, but I have made a larger world map that I've got some part. It's a work in progress, but we're very large one, very large area. Excuse me, a very large area. And this is just like a 30-mile long island. I'll probably make more individual islands eventually. Kind of just making a like this. I'd bring up the map of the world, but very large file and kind of slows things down. I just want to focus on this right now. So it's the DMG says that a village up to about 1,000. So that's like 1,000 is a larger village. The 180 is actually quite small. I just had some potato salad. Thinking 180 may be a bit too small. Like 180, that really... Okay, so, assuming that most people get married, most of the average Joes have an average Jane, and that they're gonna have certainly probably more, generally more than 2.13 children or whatever. Everyone's rounded up to like 3 kids. So that's saying that approximately, not everyone, but approximately, if we cut the population in half to denote that half of the people are in the same house. That's not talking kids yet. That'd be 60 houses, 60 homes. And then we cut down, then we add like, and if we assume that there are then 5 people in every house, that's only 36 houses, 36 homes. That's not, like, let me, trying to picture a map that would have 36 homes. But then everyone needs a place to work. Assuming that one person in the household goes out to work, you can kind of double the number building. It'll take half of them, add that to it. So, talking... I'm saying like 180 population. I'm trying to imagine right now what an overhead view of a town with the 180 people would look like. So we'll call it approximately 60 homes. Probably some, you know, there probably wouldn't be too many like apartment buildings necessarily. Although a lot of people probably would work out of their homes. Like a merchant, like a local, like a general store or a blacksmith, their house would be where they work. It's not like they have too many employers per se. What's up, Edge Marion? Thanks for joining me. Eight kids per couple. Yeah, that is true. But also, a lot of kids died. How many of them would actually survive to adulthood? We could probably even assume up to... like, saying 8 kids would survive... 5-ish, yeah. 5-ish wouldn't be too bad. So that would cut it down to... take 5. So we'd assume like 7 people per household. That'd only be like 20-25 houses. Let me see. I've got another thing. I have Dungeon Master's Handbook for 4th edition. There is genealogy stuff. Cool. Yeah, a friend of mine that looked a lot through his genealogy found out that he may be very, very distantly related to another friend of mine. Like very, very, very distant cousins. Somehow related to like Winston Churchill, both of them. Great, great, great Uncle Winston. Yeah, the fourth edition, at least this, like the Dungeons and Dragons Essentials Dungeon Master's book, the rather, there's the one that's pretty worked out. Where's the map? Where's the map? Fallcrest. Fallcrest? Yeah. Fallcrest. Okay, no. Yeah. That's the one that I'm thinking of. I'd like to look into that stuff one of these days. I have more money to do it. Alright, an interesting thing to note is that it's like Fallcrest here, this example city, is 1,350, so that's not a small town. Like, that's not a small village. But then another 900 or so live in the countryside within a few miles of the town. People of Fallcrest are mostly human, halflings, dwarves. Hammerfast, an even bigger one. That's like 12k people. Mostly dwarves. Alright, I think I've got another example that I could be looking at. My old 4th edition materials are. Don't know how long ago it was that I actually put together this sort of mock-up of this town, but I may have actually used this material before. Like, I've got this. When I first started playing D&D, I got the starter set, you know, the Nentir Vale thing, you know, that stuff. And there's an adventure that goes in with it. The Reavers of Harkenwald. And the village, the example there is Albridge, which has 180 population. Second largest village in Harkenwald. Albridge stands where the King's Road on the I don't know if I want it to be like this is pretty small looking. If I were to count out the number of households, just like buildings, I don't think I want it to be quite this small. Although, I mean, if it was small, it could make kind of a cozy little situation for the party. Then there's the village of Harken. Is the largest one in the Nentir Vale, I guess. Harken Village. That's 212 people in the town. Then there's 60 in the keep, like, that live there because they work for the. Oh no, that's actually. There's the Iron Circle, or whatever. The antagonist of this adventure took it over. But I do think like 212. Not a bad size. I think I like 212 a bit more. It just looks a little larger. I think I'll maybe get the population up to like 225. So it's not really too much of a large area to cover. I think I might have it. I'll just put a little black mark right here. And let's make another layer for it. Let's call this one I think we can go ahead and delete this layer. Let's name it the call it map. And I'll just fill in this sort of part that's missing. All right. Get black. Make it up to like 5. Now undo that. But over here, this is the locations. Actually move it a little bit closer. Get right on there. And we will call text. Gaelg. That's how I don't know how good my pronunciation of Celtic stuff is, but that's where it is. And that's how I'm pronouncing it. Alright. Oh, 225 people. Not too bad. And then we'll say there's people around, maybe like the southern coast area. There would definitely be more than that many people on the island. Most people will probably be... Oh, and then I'm thinking, I really need it to be as large, like 25. That's a quarter of the size for like the maximum village size they're saying. Before it's considered like a town. A village I think is good for this island. Maybe there'll be a couple more as well. Like, one has been destroyed. That's important. That's where part of one of my players' backstories. I think this one is important. It's the largest, so it's the... Like, that's just where people... Kind of where people land in case anyone needs to... More the port-ish sort of area. and that there will be sort of like highlands towards the center here, a number of ruins as well, and it'd be very forested along pretty much the whole thing besides the coast. And then a lot of the coastal areas near some of the rivers that sort of flow out from the highlands are where some of a lot of the farms are. Let's make another layer. It'll be all this one. Call this the forests. I'll grab a darker green and kind of color in. Yeah, I think that will be good. Let's grab the larger brush. 5, sure. Yeah, a little bit smaller. I'm gonna kind of take this along sort of the center. I'm gonna a bit more. Maybe clear away some of the forests where there has been logging in order to so that there can be more farms. It's gonna be less forests towards the south. I'm gonna get that one quite so close. The forests are generally understood to be rather dangerous. Not incredibly so, not like pretty dragons hanging out there, but it's like things like goblins and kobolds live there. It's not a place that the average Joe would want to be wandering about. Da, 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 na, na. Hmm. Yeah, it's like a lot of the farms would be around here. Mostly. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up, if I actually have anything. Of Dire Docks. Hmm. That's good. Hmm. Okay, okay. Alright, hold on. I should move some of these things to a different file really quick. And move them to my campaign stuff. As opposed to just having a file specifically for characters. Moving stuff around. Okay. Now, alright, one of the characters here. Hmm. Alright. High Iron. The name of this other village. Alright, that's more of a mining village. Okay. So I'm probably gonna put that somewhere a good bit up north. But not quite on the coast either. How do I want to indicate, like, highlands? Get a smaller paint. Like an even darker... Yeah, an even darker green. Go with that. That's pretty much a black at this point. Not quite that. Actually, just a little bit thicker here. Very close there. And a little smaller. Expand the forest. A regular lowland forests versus the highland forest. Really what I'm differentiating here. The darker the darker is where it is both forested and the land is rather high. the regular green is where it's still low, and yeah. Or it's still approximately, like, this is an area that really just kind of starts jutting out pretty quickly. Like, it kind of accelerates, the altitude accelerates a little bit, and then kind of a lot. Not quite mountains, but highlands, you know. This is where a lot of ruins are. Ancient elven civilization once had settlements here. Maybe one large one. I think this is cool. So if you're enjoying yourself, this isn't really a normal thing that I stream. I normally play video games. But I mean, this is just, I've been thinking more about D&D than I have about video games lately. So I just wanted to stream something, and this is what I got. This is an occasional thing. Maybe it'll become a staple. I don't know. As I work more on my D&D campaign, this may be happening more and more often. So I mean, if you're enjoying it, you want to see anything else, if you just like me, for me, follow the channel. I'd love to have you back. Whether you're talking in chat or not, it's always good to have anybody around that you would spend your time here, even if you're doing something else. Glad to have you. Good background tunes. A nice, handsome voice. That's kind of what the light green is. That's sort of plains, more plains-ish area. But this is where a lot of the farms are. I don't know if I'm going to designate where specific farms are. It's a pretty small area, so it may be useful to do that. Like, you can just assume that it's like none of them are going to be large farms either. They're going to be pretty small ones, just like single family farms that are just kind of scattered about, generally sort of around this area, but also kind of just anywhere. Mostly along the coast. I should make rivers as well. Rivers would be a good thing to do. Boulders are the continental shelf. Well, I mean, not really too far inland. Like, maybe just kind of along, like, sort of nearish where the forest meets the flatlands. Well, I mean, this whole island is rather small, so it's not like farms would be too... Like, anywhere is kind of near to the coast. Like, about here to here is only about 30 miles. Of course, there's just subsistence, so they get by with what they can. And that's part of the reason why this isn't a very large island, why this isn't a very large... There's not a very large population, is that it's not great farming. There's people just kind of settled here because it was land that they could have. Maybe a lot of poor people kind of got an opportunity to be here, and they took it. I'm gonna Google how close to coasts is bad for farming. Opportunities and constraints of agriculture in coastal areas. Alright, I want to see, what do they consider a coastal area? Constraints specifically affecting, and this is from like FAO.org. I don't even know what that means, but I'm just gonna assume that people aren't making up garbage. They've got a .org. I don't know. I'm not gonna read through this whole thing. I mean, people make... They have a .org. Yeah, okay, that is true. But I mean, like, this looks like a rather... I mean, this is... They have, like, sources for their stuff. This is FAO.org. I don't know what that stands for. But yeah, like, people live here, so they're going to farm here in a rural society. They won't be like right on the coast, but they'll be more like around the border where the forest is. And of course, not too many people either. This is... Gale is mostly useful as maybe as a port. As a drop-off area. So I'm going to place stations. Get a little black dot. Put it right. How big of a... Did I get that? It was like a... Is that a 2 or 5? I think it was a 5. Alright. Now put you right there. You are called Kestian. No, that's the name of a character. My mistake. It's Iron. Iron. H-A-E-A-R-N. Alright. That's where its ruins are, at least. And it's primarily a mining town. I'm actually gonna do a little... Oops, no, I don't want that. I want... Let's call this geography. And I'm gonna... that. Of course, a little bit closer to the coast up here. Move the highlands up there as well. gonna snuggle into a corner here where the Highlands begin. Mines are generally within a mile of the town itself. Okay. Okay. Gonna little cleaning up here. Little free pixel. Gotta remember. I want to do that here. Just a little housekeeping. This is good. This is good. This is good. Alright, let's get a name. Let's think of a name here. What would be a good name for this? Oh, and mountains? No, not gonna be doing. Not quite mountain. These are the darker bits are islands, which are still forested. Like, getting the mountains? No. Remember, this area is not that large. Let's see. I'm just want to round out some edges. The highlands here. Not that it matters. One of these full adventures. And the old 4th edition stuff. Okay, now, name. What would be a good name for this place? Look up, like, translate English to Irishes. I mean, like Irish, Gaelic, Scottish, Manx, all pretty similar. What to name it? What to name it? See. Looking up some translate things. I'm looking up some words in Irish. Got one in mind. Don't know how to pronounce it. I'd really like to know how to pronounce it correctly. All right. Ireland's such a small area, and yet there are 4 different pronunciations for one word. Well, slight different pronunciations. It's incredible to me. Because it's such an old area. I think I got a name for it. First. Mm-hmm. Celtic languages is so weird with their spelling. Inu. Kina. Kina. That's... Wow. Way to pronounce something. Or Kim... Like, C... Like, UI is like an... The U is silent. Like, Kim... Like, it's, M. Kim. Ina. I like that name. That's good. I don't need to... Is it... Hold on. It's either key or ki. The Kimra? Wow. So, language is so weird. Why can't anything be spelled the way it sounds? Old English letters. It's, I mean, using Old English letters, it's not really gonna help. I just want to know how it's pronounced. And Germanic letters, I don't even want to be, I don't want to be mixing letters. Everything will just be the Latin alphabet. Please. All right, Kimna. That's the Ulster that's the Ulster Irish. Kimna. Spelled C-U-I-M-H-N-E. Gonna need to write down how it's pronounced immediately. I'm getting, alright. Geography. Green. pronounced. Kim. Or is it Kim? Hold on. No, it was. Yeah, we're going with the. We're going with the Ulster, Kimna. Kimna. I believe that's correct. I'm thinking way too hard about this. Mm-hmm. Can't wait till warm weather. That'll be so nice. Yeah, Kimna. Alright. Those letters aren't gonna help me at all. Sorry, I had a window full screen where I got my chat, so I didn't see that for a second. Kimna. Kimna. Alright. I like that name. Good. I mean, I think it looks good the way it is, and I don't want to. Maybe. I feel like it looks fine the way it is. Iron. Gaelg. And Kimna. Is there anything else I want to do right now? maybe I'll squiggle some waterways around, also make some rivers. No, I should make it blue, shouldn't I? A light blue. Kinda leading inwards there. Go around there. There. That's good. Fine. Those are the only two that I'm really concerned about at the moment. Maybe... And these are not terribly large rivers either, I don't think. I think this is pretty good. Like, what else would he really need? Other towns, they can pop up as needed. Small villages actually have a little branch of this one. Go around and go right out there. We have a little town right size 5. Right, undo that. Black right here. Probably just a little go-between. Think of a name later. Also, make the background go ahead and just do that. Uh.
I miss you.
Delete all the needless white space. Make it actually a bit clearer that it is an island. A sea. Later. Kind of doing this for no reason. Other than I feel like it. I don't want the background to actually be the background and have it be, you know, the sea. Alright, I'm liking it. Let's just always do that. Alternatively, we could also do this. It's all needless, just little cleanings up. Cool. Looking cool. Little rough around the edges in a couple spots, but I can always clean that up if I feel like it later. Right. Kimna. Very good. What else? Alright, so I've got... This is the most important stuff right here. We've got the shape of the island. I'm kind of designating distance. Like, something for scale here. Let's go ahead and put a compass in the corner. The big old ladder, not that thing. Also... can be compass. Well, let's go with directions. Or you know, compass for now. I don't know what else to call it once I make the compass and other things. An N, then definitely not that thick. That looks pretty good. Mostly straight. Yeah. It's a little angled. Love it. Alright, let's think about some scale here. So if we were to go to call this 30 miles, that is a straight line of 30 miles. How actually make a line, tip to tip. All that 30 miles. And all that. That is. Right, yeah. That's about 15. I think that's about no, that's more like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Like, oh, I could have just made an arrow that way. No, in fact, I'm gonna do that. Also, just like a bigger N, a tenor. That's not what it needs to be. This. I'll make it a 36. Yeah, that's good. N. And a line. Alright. I dig that. Maybe not quite that long. It is raining outside right now. It is winter, Chicago, and it is raining. Always make 1 inch 5 miles. If I were to rotate the whole thing, maybe that would help. Did I rotate the whole thing? I only rotate it like 90 degrees. Hmm. How about from there to there? There. That's not quite that much. Make it a little bit larger. Might need to think about size. How can I make it? Maybe from like there to there. Be 30 miles. I don't know. I'll think about size and scaling later, I think. Anything else? Waterways can always be added. The name for that little, for the little town that I haven't came up with the name for. Can't think of any other. There are some other landmarks I could definitely add. I'll think about some stuff, and then I'll come back to this one of these days. Maybe I'll definitely continue on with this. I don't know if I'd stream it. A lot of smaller things. So yeah, I'd say this is a solid map. Does its job. Don't think it looks half bad either. A little cleaning would help, but yeah. So, if you want to see more of whatever the hell else I do, I may be playing more D&D. I mean, doing more map making stuff like this, more D&D prep. And if, like, since I actually do have a campaign that will hopefully be starting in at least a week. At soonest a week. More than likely 2, maybe 3, but it'd be great if we get this started soon. I'm digging it. I am digging this. So follow the channel if you like me, for me, just me, only me, and maybe maps occasionally, whatever, and also Crusader Kings or whatever, which I'll get back to eventually. I just have not been feeling it lately. 30 seconds of the song will close it off once Driftwood ends. Tune of Eternity. Yeah. By the way, Kimna means memory, which is fitting for this campaign. Memories of Dawn is what I'm calling it. Memory because there's a lot of ruins. And they're all, who knows why they're there. Anyway, thank you guys very much for joining me. Rock over London, rock on Chicago. I am Cyrock Omega, and have a nice day. Later.